Hello, teachers. Good evening to everybody, and welcome to this session, to this particular video. So, in this video, I'm going to explain how to write a lesson plan. Okay, I know you have been writing your lesson plans in the registers, but like we have given you the training, and in the training, I have explained that to you clearly that from next week, okay, you need to write the lesson plan. This is a weekly lesson plan. That means once in a week you need to write, and you have to submit that to your headmistress, get it approved, and you have to carry this to your classes. Okay, and if you are teaching 3 different classes, so you have to use 3 different lesson plan sheets. One sheet will be for one particular class. Okay, and let me tell this to you in the beginning that this video or this particular session, this video is going to be only for Tawheed English medium teachers and Tawheed public school teachers. Okay, so during the training session, I have explained this to you that you have to understand what Bloom's taxonomy is and how to write the lesson plan. Okay, so there are different types of or different sheets, lesson plan sheets available at different schools. So according to the school, okay, whichever template they follow, it's totally up to their particular standard. Okay, so this particular sheet is going to be for our school. Okay, we will be using this sheet, and all your classroom, all your classes, will be observed based on this sheet and based on the planning. Okay, based on your effective planning. So after recording this session, after recording this video, I'll be sending this to you, and I'll also send this lesson plan sheet to you so that you can download this. You can get the photocopy of this, and you can start writing your lesson plan, or you can plan whatever you're going to teach in the next week. Okay, you can write that effectively, thinking about different students that you have in the classroom, and just like that. Okay, so here you see, this is just a sample lesson plan that where I worked. Okay, wherever I have been working, we have used this type of or this particular template for all lesson planning for all different classes or different subjects. Okay, so please make a note wherever the points that you think those are important to you. And if you have any doubts, you can watch this video again and again to clarify your doubts. And still there are a few doubts left, you can meet me or you can meet your headmistress. You can clarify all your doubts, clear your doubts, and you can start planning the lessons in this particular manner. You can write your lesson plan in this particular manner. So you see here, this is the name of the school that you're seeing, and name of the teacher, you have to write your name over here. And the class that you will see here, the class, what class you are planning this lesson, this you're using this sheet for. Okay, so after this, you see the subject, whatever subject you teach, you have to write the subject over here. You can see this. And after that, what is the topic? Okay, what is the topic you are teaching in the classroom? You have to write that over here. Dates, according to the date, whatever date you are following, that for that particular week you can write. For example, if you are going to start writing, you say from 2nd of November. One second, vocabulary. Okay, so you say 2nd of November 2021 to one particular week. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7, whatever it is. Okay, 07 or 06, 6th of November 2021. Okay, this is how you are writing or planning for one particular week. Okay, now coming back to this particular thing, vocabulary. Okay, vocabulary, or if you are a subject teacher, not the language teacher, so you can also, I'm adding this right now so that you can, I'll send the same template to you so that you can use this. Okay, instead of vocabulary, you can also write the concept of that particular week. Okay, in your subject or on that particular topic, what are the key concepts that you need to emphasize on? So you have to write all those things in short over here. Okay, so for example, if this is maths class, you're seeing units, tens, hundreds, thousands, placeholder, or 4-digit numbers. All these key vocabulary or key concept or whatever you say, these are according to maths of grade 4 or grade 3, whatever, whichever that class is. Okay, so here you are writing the vocabulary if you are a language teacher, and if you are a subject teacher, you have to write the key concepts, okay, from science, social studies, or whatever you teach. And here ICT links, these are the computer links. Like I told you, once in a week, or if it is possible, once in a month, you have to take your class in the AV room, okay, where we have the projector, we have internet connection. If you go there, you just have to download the video, or if you want to play the video online, you have to first find out what are those videos links. Okay, you have to copy those links and paste over here. Okay, so it will be very helpful for somebody like me and your the innovative teachers, especially if you are also an innovative teacher. You can just mention the name of the thing, and you can give the link. So sometimes even if I am copying this link and checking for that particular video on YouTube, I'll see according to your lesson planning, according to that particular topic, what exactly is that video. Does it have something for the students to learn, or is it really effective or not? You will get the report then and there itself. So all those links, okay, 1 video, 2 videos, 3 videos, whatever it is, okay, you have to write all that over here. And sometimes if you are showing them some images or some animation, okay, using any website, okay, on like for example from maths or science or any other subject, so you can also copy those links of those web pages, web links over here. Okay, whatever you do, even if you're seeing or going to play the video from YouTube, or you're checking some link which has some animation or something, or maybe some images, whatever that is, okay, some graphs or photos, whatever. Okay, so you can copy those links over here, just copy and paste. Okay, and if you are going to write this manually, you just have to write the name of that particular video, so that it will be very helpful or easy for me just to type the same thing in YouTube and find out, okay, on YouTube, and find out what exactly that video is and whether that is matching the topic or not. Okay, so after that, we have here cross-curricular links. Instead of this, what I'll tell you is you can write Bloom's taxonomy level. Bloom's taxonomy level. Okay, so here what you have to write is, from that particular week, what are those levels that you are going to implement, use, or integrate in the classroom. For 5 days or 6 days, if you have got a period in grade 6, if you are a grade 6 teacher, so you say from remembering, understanding, applying, or analyzing. Okay, analyze. These are the 3 or 4 Bloom's taxonomy levels that you're going to have for that particular week. You are utilizing that. So your planning or your activity is basically based on those levels. So you can specify that over here itself. And the homework, like we have this homework policy. If you're giving any homework, okay, what is that homework? You just have to describe that over here, exercise in the textbook or notebook, whatever. Or if it is anything else, okay, you can do that. If it is a worksheet, you can write the exercises in the worksheet, exercises, in the given worksheet, something like that you can write. Okay, moving ahead, here you are seeing skills in focus in this particular week. Okay, this particular week. So you have extracted all the learning objectives of your subjects from all the topics that you teach. So what you're going to do is, you are writing one particular learning objective, or any learning objective which can be mentioned or described in this particular manner. Okay, and you can write that this is what a major skill that I'm going to focus for this particular week. What is that major skill? What is that big skill that you want to focus? Or from all these lessons, like if you have 5 lessons in a week, from all these lessons, lesson in a sense, the periods, I mean. So from these 5 particular periods, what exactly that one particular skill that they're going to acquire, that they're going to learn or practice. So you have to write that over here. So from place value, number and place value, you can see the skill over here to understand what each digit represents in a 3 or a 4 digit number, and partition into thousands, hundreds, tens, and units. Okay, so this is one particular skill that the teacher is going to have on regular days. Okay, by after completing one particular week, when you are going to analyze or assess the students, you will find out that whether this skill has been achieved or not. Okay, so I guess this is clear. Now moving forward, here you are seeing the starter. What is a starter? I told this to you during the training. Whenever you enter the classroom, the first 5 minutes are very crucial for you. Okay, they are very crucial to you. So what you need to do is, you need to engage the students in something, like you're asking some random questions about the topic, or what they have studied from that particular topic in the previous classes, or what they have learned from that particular topic in the previous periods. Okay, so you're trying to connect their past learning with what we are going to offer today. So basically this is all about the introduction. So in the beginning itself, when you go, you can ask random questions. just to help them connect their past learning with the new learning. Okay. And math teachers, okay, you can also ask some random questions, some mental maths questions, which is a good practice. You can ask some random questions for 5 minutes. You can ask like 10 questions or 20 questions. Simultaneously, you are mixing up, you are asking random questions and they are just answering to you. So that is a good practice which you can have in the classroom. And sometimes, the teachers, they can go with small worksheet, or they can draw something on the board or just anything, or it is also possible that you are showing some photo or some picture. Okay, and in the beginning itself, when you show the picture, you are asking them questions about that. What do you see this, what do you find in this picture, what do you understand from this particular picture? Or if you're showing 2 or 3 pictures, you're showing them and you're just asking one question: what do you understand from this, just tell me. So some of them, they try to answer the questions, all their guesses may be right or maybe they are wrong, but it's not a big deal. What you did is you just engage them the very next moment you stepped inside the classroom. So the starter is very important. Okay, and after this, what you're seeing is here, the vault. Basically, this is what are we learning today. So WALT. Normally you can simply write learning objective. What is the learning objective? Okay, what is the learning objective of that particular session, of that particular period? Means in those 40 minutes you are trying to teach something, and after that, okay, in the end, when you are going to have an assessment, what are they really learning? Okay, so when you check your teaching style and the way you have planned the activity, whether that helped the students to learn something in that particular period, you are going to find that out in the end. And at the same time, you are keeping, okay, that as a learning objective in the beginning itself, that this is what I'll be focusing on from the beginning of the period, and the activity will be exactly matching the learning style. And when you check the students or when you ask questions to them, you will understand that they have got the learning objective. Now they have acquired it. And anybody is anytime, okay, whenever somebody is observing the classroom, even when they ask questions to the students, you can see that the students are responding. So that simply means the learning objective is achieved. Okay, and this will definitely help you. And like, your students very well, that is why you have come up with 5 learning objectives from one particular topic, and some teachers came up with 10 learning objectives. Okay, because you went through the content and you read. That is how you found that from this particular lesson there are 10 learning objectives, and on each day, okay, you will be achieving one particular thing, for one particular learning objective. You are focusing on that, you are going to focus on that. Okay, so you are writing that over there. And after that, when you, okay, and then when here comes the other time, okay, you can simply remember this as summary of the activity. So this summary is going to be a little bit different. Here, what you do is, in your lesson plan register, you write the student's activity and the teacher's activity. Okay, so what the teacher will be doing and what the student will be doing. And I told you that 21st century teaching is basically, or is based on like this particular approach, student-centric approach. Okay, so you are writing this activity based on what the students will be doing. Okay, in general, you have to describe what the students will be doing. Okay, for that particular period. So if you have got 40 minutes time, the beginning 5 minutes and the last 5 minutes are for you, or in the when you are going to have this this activity also, from that itself, you can also take like 5 to 10 minutes time to introduce the topic or to explain what the things are. And the rest of the time, you are engaging the learners in learning. Okay, now they are doing that particular activity. Okay, and they are, maybe there is a grouping configuration where all students are sitting together, or there are 5 groups. Okay, in each group there are 3 or 4 members, and you have given them some worksheets, and now you want them to just do the worksheet. And okay, in the beginning itself, you explain them and you instruct them how to do this worksheet. So that worksheet is particularly based on the learning objective or the topic. Okay, so, and that should match the content of that thing also, the content of your textbook, the lesson. So when you see that the students are doing it, and even in the given time, when they complete the learning, that particular worksheet, you are collecting it back, you are checking that, and by that you will be easily, you will be able to find out how many students have understood. Okay, and apart from that, in the classroom itself, when you do this, when you have this practice of giving them worksheets or any other thing, okay, maybe you go with some charts, and or some pictures. Okay, you have given them, and now they are using those learning tools or learning materials, the supplementary material, and they are showing the progress, okay, by doing that activity. Okay, so the beginning time is for you, where you have to explain what they are supposed to do. Okay, and then the 10 minutes, 15 minutes or 20 minutes, now you are engaging the students. They are doing it and they're showing you their understanding, like they have, whether they have understood your instructions or not, or whether they have understood the content or not. Okay, so here you are specifying that. And here normally this is about higher achiever, middle achiever, and lower achiever. Like normally you say fast learner and slow learner. So like I told you, we should not believe that in this concept that there are slow learners. Okay, they need time, they take time to learn something. It's totally okay. So here what you're going to do is, I'm going to change this to grouping configuration. So what is this grouping configuration? So you can use this particular initials, like for example, if you say W means whole class. So you don't have to write that particular two words, whole class, in the lesson plan sheet. Simply you can write W and put a dash and explain what the whole class will be doing. You're writing what the whole class will be doing. What they will be doing, you're writing that. Okay, or if you want to divide the students in groups, so you can say like the groups. Okay, B means groups. So how are you dividing that particular group? You can say here like students will be divided into 5 groups of 4 members each, something like this. Okay, you can write in your own way. Or if you want to say individually, you will focus. Okay, you can write as I, individual. I means individual. That means the worksheets are given now to all the students, and each and every student has got that. So you're moving from one student and another student, and you're focusing on each and every particular child. Like you're spending 1 or 2 minutes with one child, and then you're moving to the other child. Okay, so it's totally up to you. Okay, or you can go with this also, like you say individually, whole class, or you can also say as P means pair. A pair of what? Like 2 students, you know, you're making pairs of students in the classroom where 2 students, they sit together. So after writing this W, you have to explain what that whole class will be doing. Okay, summary of the activity is already written over here, but here you are specifying what the whole class will be doing as an activity. Okay, it's just a little more in detail. Okay, and then if you're writing G, so in groups, how many groups will be there and what each group will be doing. Okay, for example, you're saying that you are making a group in which there are like 5 members, so you're giving them some chart, and using the pictures, they are making some collage, or they're making some timeline on chart, whatever that is. Okay, so you are specifying that over here. G, the students will be divided into these many groups, and the charts will be given to them with pictures and color pencils or sketches, whatever, and they will be asked to do this activity in this manner. Like what they'll be doing, they'll be according to your learning objective, the summary of the activity. You have planned that they have to list out the items, or they have to draw something, or they have to create something. So you have to specify that in the end, like in that particular manner. Okay, so even if you say you are going to make the pair, okay, in the classroom, so what that particular pair will be doing, okay, the students will be asked to sit in pair, and they have to do this activity in this manner. Okay, you have to explain that. So like that, okay, you will be writing and specifying that over here. Okay, the whole class or pair or whatever that is, you are explaining that over here. And plenary is actually, you can say instead of plenary, you can remember this as assessment. Assessment of what? Assessment of their learning. Okay, and this may take only five minutes maximum, or 2 minutes. Sometimes within 2 minutes you can understand. So what you do is, either you write something on the board, this is just an example, either you write something on the board, or you ask them questions orally, like thumbs up for the right answer and thumbs down for the wrong answer. So you ask them questions to check whether they have understood. You are asking questions. Question number 1, you asked, and they say, if they show you thumbs up, if that is the right answer, you say yeah, they have understood. And when you ask another question and they say the answer is wrong, okay, so they'll show you thumbs down. So you know that the answer is wrong, so their expression is correct, like the answer is wrong, that is why they're showing the thumbs down. So thumbs up for the right answer, thumbs down for the wrong answer, okay, anything like this. And another thing that I have explained to you during the training session, you can also make use of that just to know whether the students have understood or not. Okay, so this is something of one particular day. Okay, if you are a class 6 teacher or class 4 teacher, on Monday you are going to that particular class and you're carrying this lesson plan, you have already prepared this, and now according to your planning you are just executing the things. Okay, you are executing the planning. And there again, let me tell you, in a week, for example, in class 1 or class 6, okay, in class 6 you have got, you say 8 periods, that means on Monday you have got 2 periods. Okay, so what you can do is here, instead of Monday, here Monday period 1, you can write as Monday -1, and then again on Monday itself you have second period, maybe one period you have in the morning and another period in the evening. So what you can do here is Monday, okay, -2. Just like that, you can add all the rows here, okay, the same, all the boxes, and you can copy the same data. It's totally easy. I'm going to send you the editable sheet, editable document, so that you can make use of this. So the same thing, okay, will be happening on the other days also. Okay, like Monday you are going to do this, Tuesday the same planning, the same way. But here you have to remember, since I said you are going to have different levels of Bloom's taxonomy, so here what you can do is Monday what you teach, the planning has to be different for Tuesday. The planning has to be a little bit different on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. In each class, okay, if you're going with the same thing for all the 5-6 days that you go to that particular class, or 7 or 8 periods that you teach, if you have the similar planning, then obviously, like I said, the learners are different, the learning styles are different, so they will be confused, they may not like the class, and they may disturb other students as they don't like the way the things are being taught. So that is why, like I said, when we believe that the students are very innovative and creative and they have got a different learning style, and nowadays we are focusing on this particular approach, we are following this approach, that student-centric method. So definitely here, the way we teach on each and every single day, the planning has to be different. Okay, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so one particular row is of one particular period. Okay, and then if you have your second period in that particular 6th class, so Tuesday, okay, Tuesday, what exactly that is, you are writing in the same manner, you are preparing in the same manner. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, okay, that is how you are writing. And in the end, I'll show you, in the end, what you are going to do is you are writing here, what are the good points of the lesson. So here you are reflecting on teaching. Okay, so immediately when you finish this particular week's planning, okay, one particular week is completed now. So what you can do is here you have to write what are the good points, okay, from this particular planning. The activity sometimes was very good, the children liked and they were engaged for 100%, or maybe they were engaged, they were showing their interest for 90%. So you can write on Wednesday, the students were really active and they liked the way I taught. Okay, that was a good point. So anything else, okay, from your side and from the student side, how did this planning go? That is what you are reflecting on your teaching and also the students learning, and then you are writing all those points over here. Okay, and this will also be evaluated. Please do not think that once you submit this lesson plan and the principal will sign. You can see here, on Monday when you submit this lesson plan, the principal will go through this and she will, after signature, okay, she will send this back to you. And after that, you are keeping that in a file folder or the plastic file that you have. And then you are carrying that to the classroom. Okay. And if anybody is observing to your classroom, they will be asking for that particular lesson plan. Or if I am coming to your classroom on Friday, okay, I'll be only seeing what you have prepared, like what you have prepared for Friday. Okay, and I will be sitting there and observing how exactly the planning is being implemented, and based on that only the classroom observation sheet has been prepared, and you will be given score based on that only. Okay, so you need to be very careful when you plan for each and every single day's activity. Okay, I am not telling you to bring or in the other way, if I tell you, if you want to have a different thing, okay, different activity on each and every single day, okay, let that be, you use different learning material, the supplementary material on every single day, so that the way the students come, or maybe they're learning the same thing on the other day, the next day, but the way that is being taught, okay, it's different. Okay. And in the higher classes, like if we have 10 standard and we follow the state board curriculum, and we have to, see all those things, okay, the matter especially. So there, what we can do, especially in the higher classes for maths teachers, okay, especially if the maths teachers are asking me. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the beginning time, you are explaining the stuff, and then all the exercises. So you can divide that, okay, 20 minutes for you and 20 minutes for the student, just like this. So 20 minutes you are taking to explain the concept or explain the formula and how to solve that particular problem that is given in the textbook. And the rest of the time, 20 minutes are only for the students. Okay, so you are now making movements in the classroom between the students, and you are seeing how many students are actually doing that and whether they are understanding or not. Okay, so you can give them 5 questions. So one question, normally they have to take 5 minutes or 4 minutes. So easily within 20 minutes, you can make movements from one student and the other student, and you can see whether they have understood the concept, and now whether they are following or they are able to do it properly or not. Okay, so after that, what are the areas of improvement? When you believe or when you feel after reflection that the learning or the teaching was not that good, maybe after out of 5 days, 2 days the planning went well, but 3 days it was not that good. So you have to identify those areas also, okay, the drawback of this particular planning, and you have to write that over here from your side and also from the student side. And then you are seeing here who needs the follow-up and the objective attainment. So here you are writing whether you have acquired or the students have acquired the learning objective or not, because you have prepared all this particular learning objective for one particular week, and that is what you are writing in that skill in focus this week. Okay, one particular learning objective there. So there, now here after completing one particular thing, like particular week, here you are identifying whether the students have acquired the learning objective, they have got it or not, by asking questions or by any other means. Okay, you just have to find out whether students got that learning objective or not. Okay, and if they did not get it, in the next week, okay, in your coming week, you can again plan for something different, something innovative or creative, or by using different learning material, supplementary material, or innovative tools. Go to the classroom, teach those students, and again in that particular week you have to try your level best to acquire or to achieve that particular learning objective. And in this week itself, for example, sometimes if all the students understood, okay, they are understanding whatever you have planned, and this learning objective has been achieved, okay, now you are going with the next lesson or the next part of the lesson, or maybe the new lesson. Okay, for that again you are planning and you are trying to change the summary of the activity, the activity and the way the grouping configuration you have made in the classroom, and you are engaging all the students, the different types of learners in the classroom, and now you are teaching the new lesson or the next part of that particular lesson. So this is basically, I have given you the idea of what and how you are going to write this, and rest of the instructions will be given to you. I'll ask I can also ask you to come and meet me in person if you have any doubts, just to clarify your doubts. And yes, you can write this, you can show this to me, and also you have to submit this to your HM. So the same copy, when you are going to teach in the classroom, I'll be observing your class, and then based on this only, I'll give you suggestions how effectively you can write this planning and how effectively you can implement this in your classroom. So that's it from me today. If you have anything to ask, you can ask me later. Okay, like when you meet me at the school. Thank you.